Well, welcome to the front podcast of the internet, everybody. He's your host, Willy.
That's me, and he's your other host, Scott. We're a show all about us.
Covering all of the ups and downs in about 30 minutes.
If you like the show, you can find more of us
on our TikTok, our YouTube, but probably not Twitter much longer.
Oh, God. Would you consider this our inaugural AMA episode?
I mean, it's one thing we could call it, yeah. I think we've been depriving all of our listeners for the past year and change, 2 years. How long have we been doing this?
123 episodes. Because
yeah, we haven't shared enough about us. I mean, you get little tips and just the tips, over the past 120 some odd episodes. But outside the box, thinking outside the bun, if you will.
Yeah, so we're gonna spend this episode and we're gonna talk about us. We're gonna talk about the things that we've seen, that we've loved over the internet over the course of the last couple of weeks, and just give our hot takes. Not necessarily a Reddit focused show, because ultimately, what is Reddit?
The internet.
So let's broaden our minds.
And Willy doesn't know this, but I plan on asking some interesting questions at the end of the show, so stay tuned.
I need to start with probably the most controversial topic of the day.
No. Great, here we go.
What month is it?
November.
Have you made it, Scott? How are you doing?
How
is the competition going?
We are recording in October, but I know that it is currently November, so I haven't lost a damn thing.
What we are talking about is clearly the internet's favorite game of who's the biggest liar. No Nut November.
What started out as a charitable no shave November for, was it men's prostate cancer?
It's called Movember. Yes.
Movember, yeah. And I retract the men's prostate cancer because I have to say anybody that has a prostate can't get canceled on the first AMA.
Everybody that's not a cisgender male just goes, no, you can keep that one. I don't want it. Prostate cancer, I'm good. I'm all set.
Yeah, you guys just take it all. It has now burst forth into the meme-verse No Nut November, which has to do with not whacking it out in the tool shed or wherever you choose to whack it on, I don't know. For Willy, it's what, 2-3 times a day?
An hour. Just depends.
Yeah, it depends.
There's 9 hours that I'm at work.
That you do it all the time?
No, come on. I have some class. Get it out of the way in the car on your lunch break.
Okay. Is there a Tesla mod for cleaning that out? Or is that why you got the white leather?
That's why I got white. I didn't want to keep having to make ectoplasm jokes, so I was like, white it is.
I mean, last month it was perfect. Spooky ghost, haunted car.
Oh, God, I hate it here.
So we tried it last year, and we didn't do so hot. I don't know if we ever talked about it after the first show, to be honest, but are we doing it again?
Sure.
Okay. I'm sure both of our significant others would be on board. We just we don't have to bother them for a month.
Oh, no. Yeah, they'll be fine with this. That's totally right.
Yeah.
Just say, Scott, you're saving yourself for marriage.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of splooge of the earth, can we talk about one of the controversies of this week? I know we said we weren't going to do this, but we're going to talk about politics.
You're going to talk about it.
I know, I'm going to. I thought that this would be a good opportunity for us to say, what are your thoughts on Kanye West?
What?
Starting it light and airy.
Can we just stop talking about him like forever? I would be okay with that, honestly. If we never mentioned his name ever again, I don't think anybody is worse off. That's my thought. Like, that's my thought on him. Him and Elon, like, just everybody shut the fuck up. These two people are not worthy of our attention. They're just not.
You said something yesterday. So we went over to Scott's house. We were playing some board games, drinking wine. I have a story about Halloween and that whole spiel later. But we had talked about, Bree and I are watching Love is Blind. And you're like, we don't watch that garbage. We don't watch dumb reality television.
Yeah. No.
And I think that makes sense in your response to Kanye West and Elon, is they're taking reality television into the real world and having real implications, and we're just standing idly by watching the disaster.
I mean, maybe this explains why Mark Zuckerberg is trying so hard to go and hide in the metaverse. I think he's tired. Just tired of everybody talking about him, or maybe not enough about him.
But they're adding legs. They're adding legs.
That's great.
Oh, man.
Tell me when they get to genitals, and then I'll buy one.
Wait, what?
They've got arms and legs. Until they have meta genitals, I don't want to buy a headset.
That's fair.
CC Mark.
Okay, so as we're recording this, it's the day before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And on TikTok, I woke up today and I start scrolling, and all I'm seeing is Halloween costumes. Clever ones, not so clever ones.
Yeah, we came in last week. Check out our previous episode starring the artist Joel Volmer, who is still raising money for Extra Life.
Have you seen Halloween costumes all over the internet? Do you have a favorite one that you saw?
I have not paid any attention to any of the Halloween parties that happened.
Do you just not care about society?
You all may live in a society, but I actually live in a nice bunker that used to be a missile silo in North Dakota here. No, I think my newsfeed was more focused on the Halloween horror that happened in Korea, and I didn't have enough time to focus on all of these sexy parties that were happening in our own backyard.
I'm going to address that thing in a second because I have a coworker whose brother was there.
That's terrifying.
On a lighter note, though, one of my favorite Halloween costumes, there are two that stood out to me. The first one, I saw this multiple times. So it starts with a girl getting on screen. She's wearing like a dress or a skirt, has a T-shirt on that looks like a pumpkin. Orange with a little black.
Are they pregnant?
No, they look fine.
Okay.
They look fine.
Fine.
And they pull in their significant other who walks in wearing a white T-shirt.
Oh.
Their mouth covered in Cheeto dust. And it just says, Peter, Peter.
That's right. That's a good one. That's probably not the classiest, but cleverest outfit of the year. I did notice all of the Spirit Halloween memes. So I guess I was paying attention to those Halloween costumes. My favorite one was the blank template, and it just said Dad on the side.
I think my favorite one, though, and tell me if you get this reference, it's a person wearing all black that has the end of a shovel. The shovel has been spray painted black. They set down like a twister size red mat or white mat with like red paint, and all they do is squeegee the paint into the center, and then they rotate around the center of the mat, squeegeeing in red paint.
What is it?
There was a MoMA art exhibit that just won tons of praise across the internet in the last couple of years, where it is a robot that they created like machine learning so that what it would do is constantly squeegee up this liquid that looks like blood, and it's meant to be a conversation piece about how robots will do our bidding, even if it is cleaning up the death of society. And it was such a clever costume because it's just out in the real world, just squeegeeing up.
All right.
I hope somebody got that reference. God, I'm an idiot.
You're more cultured than I am, because I don't know how long that's been out, but I have never seen that before. But good for them. I guess I did notice. Here's me just not remembering things. I was really high yesterday.
Allegedly.
Legally speaking, of course. There was this kid who was painted in black from head to toe, literally from head to toe. And he had one of those toy hobby horses, also painted completely in black. And there was a roadside cone on his head. And everybody's like, only the people will get this, like, won't be offended. Because he had black paint on his face. And it turns out it was a statue, I think, like in Philadelphia. And it was known for this general, it's like one of those old Civil War statues or Revolutionary War statues. And people will continuously put road cones on top of its head. And so that's just kind of how it's known. So half the people are like, it doesn't matter. He's in blackface, this is a kid. Why would you do this to him? And the other people are like, no. Like, that actually makes sense. I'm from this neighborhood. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's such a tough question because, like, you follow some of those companies. Halloween costumes can only go so far. And
until you're naked.
Well, are you far enough? Anyways, there's like this moment, and you can track it on face paint, makeup, packaging, where it's like you'll have like some white dude as the actor, and they'll paint his face blue for the blue face paint, and then you'll move over to the red, and then it's all red, and then you'll move over to the white, and then it's all white, and then you get to the black, and if the company thinks about what they're doing, they'll do some like zebra face or something.
Yeah.
And the example of this guy is like, sure, it's a moment here, but if you think that's going to make it on the internet, just maybe don't. Just don't.
Oh, man. You started this conversation by talking about politics, Willy, and I wanted to bring up something that's very similar. Voting. Right now, when the show is up, we should be talking about voting, because isn't it like, I don't know, today or a week from now? Okay, nope, it's not this week at all. It is it is next week, but go vote. I don't care who you're voting for. Just put your name on paper. If you think the government's going to track you this way, you're wrong. They track you through your phone. Everybody knows that. And microwaves. So just go out and vote. Stop complaining. Do something about it. That's all I ask.
It doesn't take long. And most businesses will allow you
like
the opportunity
sex.
To go vote.
Just you're in, you're out.
I remember growing up, or even when I was in college, and not giving a damn about midterms. Not even realizing that it was a thing. I always thought, like, you vote every 4 years and that's it. No, you vote every 2 years, and sometimes a little bit more often than that. I remember the moment in my life where I went from voting doesn't matter to, oh my God, I've been so dumb. And it was obviously it was 2016. Obviously. That's, I think, the moment when a lot of people went, huh. I should have been paying attention.
Yeah. Who's to say if we'd be better? No, I'm just kidding. We'd definitely have been better off. We will take the evil Clinton dynasty over what the hell just happened.
Earlier today, I'm at work. We're talking about like being out and about. Scott, you and your partner invited me and my partner over just to have some drinks and play some board games.
Mm-hmm.
And before we came over, both of us were like, we go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And we're getting over there at 7:30. So I had to take an energy drink before going over there because like I'm just old.
Yeah, you are. And there was a tweet about that this week. We've given way too much power to you people.
What do you mean by you people?
What I mean is white. I mean the opposite of night. Day people. Everybody's totally fine with somebody that wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes and starts their day and goes to bed at 8 o'clock so they can get up and do it all over again. But I'm the weirdo who stays up past 10:30.
You and I were once the same. I had a coworker who said, oh, yeah, I went out on Friday and I tried to keep it pretty easy. I didn't drink too much. I just had a good time. I was out until, let's see, I got home at 3 a.m.
Okay.
And that's Scott's reaction. And my reaction is, that's an hour away from me waking up.
And that's the thing. Like, even if you chose to not go to sleep, I'd be like, well, that's probably going to hurt you in the long run, but okay.
But I was once a night owl and was a self-proclaimed hater of the day people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that you should find the time of day where you can get the most done for you. And that's what mornings have become.
Yeah.
Is a time for me to wake up and do my thing.
grab a
Which
brush,
is why I
put a
fail
little
No Nut
makeup,
November.
hide the scars, fade away the shakeup. Yeah, and that's the right answer, right? This show, we're literally all about like trying to find happy medium and realizing that not everybody's the same. So like,
Right.
if you want to be a day person, cool. If you want to be a night person, cool. There's like 3 shifts. We should kill daylight savings time. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Sorry, farmers, I guess, and people who chose to buy their homes where they have to drive into the sun. Like, that's on you. You can't really do it right now because of interest rates, but like you can buy another home.
Maybe.
Privilege.
Okay.
Speaking of privilege, I listen to a lot of other podcasts from people who have much better jobs. And when I say better, I mean they make more than we do. So
Much higher paying.
Yeah, I classify it as better because it gives them the thing that gives them more freedoms.
Joy.
So I was kind of struggling because I've been listening to these comedy podcasts, and it's not like the stand-ups are doing their show on the podcast. No, they're just like inviting their other friends who are also comics onto the show, and they're very successful. And my intention was to go in and try to like glean something from them, like the hard work ethic and blah, 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 blah. But what I've really noticed is that they kind of just humble brag the whole time they're on the show. They're like, yeah, I'm on my tour bus driving across the country with my personal trainer, and like we wake up every day and work out at 6 a.m. and then we do it again at 4 p.m. and, you know, my personal chef feeds me all the things I need to eat, and then I go and do an hour comedy podcast, and oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. And I think as somebody who does not have that luxury, number one, in the kindest sense of the terms, go fuck yourself. Number two, like, I also think that the majority of the United States has no idea what these guys are fucking talking about. They hear hard work, but I think that's what the comedians think. Like, I worked really hard, and then I got to here, and this is my life, and this is now hard work. So what we're working for this show, I think you and I would want to be paid to talk, but do you think it's going to harm our roots? Do you think we're going to forget what it's like to be struggling people if and when we make it to the big time? I mean, you kind of grew up privileged, so this might just make you into some sort of horrible monster. Maybe we should stop the show.
No. There are plenty of people that go up and they go to like Breck High School and spend $35,000 a month or a year to go to that school.
Jesus.
I did not have that. I went to public school. I drove a 1986 station wagon as my car. Come on now. But yes, you're right. For all intents and purposes, I had a very privileged childhood.
I know. There's other people way more privileged, and there's other people less privileged. But let's just say we suddenly get a $10 million deal, Willy. What's the first thing that you're buying for yourself? Just your first toy.
A fucking new cat right now because he's trying to eat my light. He's on top of eating it. Is that $10 million split between business partners or $10 million each?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Let's just say $20 million deal, 10 each.
If I'm financially unstable, which is probably pretty realistic.
We've whittled down our finances. We're hitting rock bottom, but then suddenly we have $10 million each. Yeah.
And I don't think like pay off credit cards, pay off all of my bills,
it's a
take
toy.
care of
it's
my
a dumb
family.
Thing. Yeah.
I need something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying one of those realistic life dolls from Japan. Sex dolls.
I saw a TikTok about that today.
No.
Why was that on my algorithm, you ask? Well, I'll tell you.
It's probably because I saw it first, and then the algorithm's like, "Hey, you're friends with this guy."
It's not because I have something in my cart just waiting for that payoff. No. It's because I was watching a guy who was reporting on Chinese factories, and he was inspired by the American factory show that exists in the world. And so he thought he'd go in and personally do his own documentary on these factories, and somebody requested love dolls. It's called like WM Dolls, and they make less expensive, high quality sex dolls, which are terrifying if you think about it, for even a little bit. Because Willy, let's say you get one of those sex dolls. Where are you keeping it?
On my sex swing, on the sex swing, in the.
Stupid question, Scott. Come on.
No, so we needed a place.
I thought that
where
was our swing. Okay.
we needed a place to relax in the bedroom, so we bought like, it's so funny. We bought this like swinging chair that you can mount to the ceiling.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mounting in that swing. Yeah.
And then my partner was like, yeah, so I'm at work. Can you just like mount that in the living room in this spot so that there's this cozy corner? And I'm like,
he doesn't have the doll yet. They're still talking about the swing.
No, I'm just thinking to myself, like, how the fuck am I going to mount this to the ceiling? It's an apartment. I don't know what's in the ceiling. Like, am I mounting it to a metal beam? Am I mounting it to wood? Who knows?
Do you have a front-facing camera?
Yeah. What?
You have a front-facing camera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a built-in stud finder. Hey.
Needless to say, we bought a stand for it. It exists in the bedroom, and if somebody walks in, you have to acknowledge, like, listen, it's not a sex swing. It can fit 300 pounds or less. It's just to meditate. We're doing this meditation challenge at work, right? I fell asleep in that chair for an hour a couple of days ago.
So you found a stud and mounted it correctly?
Have
you put 300 pounds
I am like
in
a dough in heat.
Have you? Oh, well, okay.
Okay. We don't necessarily know other languages, right? Like, do you know Spanish?
I know of it.
Okay. Your partner knows Spanish better than your heritage does.
Yep.
Better. That made sense in my head. Nobody
it didn't
questioned
work in
that.
real life, but I got the gist, all right?
Yeah.
Just like that chair is going to get a lot of the gist.
Oh, woof. We don't know anything really about any other language, except there is one language we do know well, which is Minnesotan.
Okay.
This post today, this girl was like, I live in New York City, but I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Minnesota. And my family said, hey, we're going to make a hot dish. And she's trying to describe it to her friends. And her friend's like, what's a hot dish?
It's a dish that is hot.
So she says it's like a casserole. And they're like, what? What's a casserole?
Yeah, you just have to explain the ingredients.
Can you just explain it for somebody who lives in New York or lives in LA who's like, what the hell is a hot dish? Describe it.
Don't ask me to do this because I've never had either. We did not make them in our family growing up. Yeah, I know. From Minnesota, born and raised, we had funeral potatoes.
Alone is how he spent his days.
But funeral potatoes are a different type of dish. I don't know if it qualifies as a hot dish. Yeah.
A what?
They're called funeral potatoes. And
what do you mean? What do you mean?
So it's a base of cubed potatoes, and then you put on cream of chicken soup, cheese, I think French's onions, and the cornflake topping of some sort. I think actually Kellogg's cornflake. And
you've described a casserole, a hot dish.
Sure, but they're called funeral potatoes. I guess it is a casserole. You're just saying
hot dish is
hot dish is hot dish. You're just calling it hot dish. It has no other name.
No, a hot
casserole.
dish is like a car. A hot dish is a term for a vehicle, a car.
Okay. Yeah.
Funeral potatoes are a type of hot dish. Jesus.
So funeral potatoes are the Civic or the Honda of hot dishes?
Ford Fiesta, it sounds like to me.
They're delicious. I can't have them anymore, but they're fucking fantastic.
We missed it. It's actually just a hearse. Funeral potatoes are a hearse.
It's Ecto 1, yeah.
What are some other Minnesota terms that you think people would have a hard time describing? Can you describe the word oofda?
Oofda. I mean, this all stems from our Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish heritage, Germanic heritage. A lot of the sayings came over on the boats with the Vikings, who won today, by the way. Good for them, 6-1. I mean, it's just an expression. It's like when we bump into somebody, the Southern Canadian part of us just wants to say I'm sorry, but we also know we're Americans, so we know we shouldn't apologize. So it just comes out as a oop, 2 O's and a P.
It's the equivalent of just a breath.
OPE, I think actually it is. Oh, didn't see you there. Oop, sorry. Didn't mean to run into you there. You walked in on me masturbating.
Oh! Oh! Just putting it away. Sorry, Mom. It's the equivalent. I think OPE is the equivalent of going up to somebody to say sorry and tickling them at the same time. Oh! Sorry.
Forget Minnesota nice. That's Minnesota creepy.
And I want to acknowledge that I have never heard somebody unironically say oofta in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, I say it. I just say oof. I don't even go duh. I have dropped the duh. Oof is more like ooh. Like, that sucks. That's the new that sucks.
Like woof.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Woof, Buzz's girlfriend. Tried to distance ourselves from that because it was just Buzz in a wig, to be honest. Yeah, not kind. No, it was the director's son or something like that in a wig.
I thought it was the actor that played Buzz in a wig.
I don't think so. Maybe. Anyway, but speaking of people who have pale skin and talk funny, Willy, did you know that there's this book series about a guy that walks around fighting or befriending monsters?
Jesus?
Yeah, that one too. But his name is The Witcher.
From the video game. I've never played the game.
And they made it into a really popular show on one of those streaming platforms that doesn't support us. But as far as we know, Henry Cavill has been this character, and so far will continue to be this character until season 4.
What season are they out with?
I think they're wrapping up or about to drop season 3.
Okay, so he's gonna reprise the role for a total of 3 seasons, and then Liam Hemsworth.
Yes, because he went to take this other small indie film called Super something.
I think, is this one of the first moments where we've seen a major character be recast in a show or film of some kind willingly? Because you have what's his face, Edward Norton being recast by Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. You've got people that will retire and a new person will come in, like Pierce Brosnan for what's his face,
James Bond. Yeah.
But this was all, I saw his Instagram. I saw Henry Cavill's Instagram yesterday that was like, hey, I have loved serving and being a part of this role and being able to portray this character, one in which he is a super nerd. He loves playing this character, but he's probably got some other things on his agenda. He passed the baton. Is that a thing we should see more of?
The internet is distraught because he chose to leave. Now, they love him so much that they're kind of just taking it as a L that they can live with. They're not mad at him because he brought everything to that character. He made it his own. The writer of the books even said, like, this is who you should think of when you're reading my stories. It should be his face that you see.
Damn.
There's been so much love on his side that you can't even, like, you're like, ah, damn it. But I don't know. Part of me wants it to not, like, come back. Like, I don't want to see anybody else try to play the same character. It's too jarring.
Just go the way of most British television shows, which is this show's run its course. People are moving on. We're done.
Yeah. Or make it a different character. Like there's more than one Witcher. Have, what's his face, Hemsworth, the 27th brother in his name, be a completely different Witcher.
I think that this is fine. I think that TV shows should be willing to move on. Actors are, at this point, with the vast amount of shows and content that's available to us, actors are a commodity.
A dime a dozen? Anybody can be an actor? You think?
No,
you can
I
be
think
an actor?
I think there's a skill just like in any other job. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say that like just anybody can do it. I think there's skill to it. But I do think that like one white man playing that role for another white man playing that role, considering that it's all hidden in makeup and muscles, Liam Hemsworth is going to do just fine.
You're saying a person of color should be doing whiteface?
Woof, Scott. Fuck.
You just got lawyered.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Jesus. No, I don't know. I don't think it bothers me. I have to play devil's advocate to myself really quick. I know, Bandit. I swear to God, if they would have cast somebody other than Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, I would have lost my shit.
Yes.
So, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's that I don't care. I just don't care about The Witcher, and maybe that's why I'm like,
probably, yeah. It would have been really fucking insensitive to recast Chadwick. Just saying, but
just put Idris Elba in there. That's what everybody suggests nowadays.
All right. Well, speaking of controversy, Willie, I wanted to do this at the end of the show. This is something that I'm inviting you, the audience, to also do for future episodes. I think we're going to try and do this once a month, just getting to know us, getting to selfishly not prepare for show. Just kidding.
True. It's true.
I want you to send us questions. Send us literally anything. Ask us anything. You can email us at
There's at Sub for That podcast.
Or you can reach us by DMing us on any of our socials. We would love to answer your questions, anything you would want to know about us, about the show, all open. So, Willie, this little segment, I want us to be an Ask Us Anything to each other.
Ooh.
And it can be literally anything. You want to go softball? That's fine. You want to go a hard one right down the middle? That's your MO.
Do we only get one question?
Just one question. Yeah, we'll keep it brief. We don't want to give away everything. Keep people coming back, wanting more, you know.
Ooh. And call it?
I'm going to go with heads.
It's tails.
Ooh.
I don't know which one's better going first, but I get to choose now, I guess.
You get to choose. Do you defer or do you want to take the ball?
I'm going to defer.
Okay. All right. I apologize to Willie's mom. This is going to be very revealing, and I know you listen to the show. Yeah, we talk, Willie. We talk.
Oh God.
Remember, we trade off toys. You have had several significant others throughout your life. What the people really want to know is, in the bedroom, what's the thing you are known for or best at? Or maybe you just enjoy the most?
Oh God.
Yeah, what's the feedback you've been given, like, maybe we don't do this anymore, but I really like it when you do this? This is the part of the show where I wish we had a clock in the background so you could see how much time,
see how long this takes. Oh God, this is a really tough. I think this is a really tough one because I don't want to be too revealing. You asked me a super personal question. You son of a bitch.
Ask us anything. That's right.
So how would I answer this so that I don't incriminate myself on the internet?
If anything, this is good. Like, this is the way I phrased it, though. I phrased it in a way that's
you're giving
positive for you. There are no downsides. If anything, this just kind of, it's your time to...
It's my time.
Yeah.
Well, here you go, Scott. If you wanted some TMI, just...
I'm laughing at how much you're going to have to edit out all your starts and stops.
I know. I think I'm great at providing.
Providing, like, money? You're a good sugar daddy?
I pay well. No. I think the pre-gaming activities can be considered a good pregame. So
I don't understand.
They set it up.
I need you to spell it out for me.
A good dinner, good soup,
good.
Or I would say that
you got to pick one. Just pick one.
If you're looking for a meal to last, I can provide you plenty of great conversation. No, right, no, I'm not good at that. I suck. That's maybe the worst. I'm not a good conversationalist. Are you saying
you have a diners club member at the Y?
I'm saying if you want to be around for a while, we can go for a while. We can hang out. We can hang out.
I still have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, that's the most I'm gonna give you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. That's an acceptable answer for the very first question on Ask Me Anything.
Scott, where is... I had time to think about it. The most embarrassing place you've ever self-masticated.
Oh. Ooh. All right. This one's going to... Hold on. Got to jog the brain.
Earmuffs, Bandit.
You know, this was a long time ago, so I'm not even afraid to admit it. There's like the normal places. Okay, I remember. Okay, now I remember.
Oh, no.
The most embarrassing place that I did it. The year is... I don't even remember. It's my first year at college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had never owned a computer that was connected to the internet until I went to college.
A year of enlightenment.
Yeah. So many viruses. But I would have to say it would be the first night of college after my roommate had gone to sleep and is sleeping, I kid you not, 5 feet away from me. Kitty corner on the other side of the room. I'm in full ninja stealth mode, right? Like, so there was barely any movement, just a lot of concentration. And I think that was the year I became ambidextrous because, you know, I had to.
Just depending on the way the bed's faced in the dorm room.
Yeah. Like, I had to worry about the shadow that was being cast behind my head, you know, so you can't make it
because if
look
anybody's
like
wondering, it's a large shadow.
So that was probably the most embarrassing place I ever did it, and I'm super sorry to my roommate, who, if he did know, never let me know. Like, it was very polite. Yeah, sorry.
If you guys want to get in on the fun festivities, go ahead and ask us anything over on our socials. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Find more of us on our socials, and we'll see you next week.